arc tangent to two lines at right angles. Okay, this one is going to look like this. If I've got a right angle just like this, if you want to come down here and you want to put a radius in, it's like a fillet. Okay, let's put a fillet right in here. This is how you do it. Now, really quickly, I'll come up here and I'm just going to copy this and bring it down. And I want to put a 1/2 inch radius in this, okay? So if I want to put a 1/2 inch radius, it's really simple in AutoCAD. You come up here into fillet, right? And hit radius 0.5 and then click your two lines and it automatically will put that in. You got to hit radius first, I'm sorry, 0.5. And then click these two lines and it'll do that for you. You also got tan radius, because you're going tangent off this, tangent off that at a 0.5 radius. Clean everything up. There's all kinds of ways, but on a board you don't have all those luxuries. You can come in here and just take a template and then get them really close, but if you're using a compass, you have to have that center point. This is how you do it. You offset these lines exactly how much this is, 1/2 inch. And again, remember I showed you, if you're on the board with a compass, just come here, it doesn't matter, two places on the line, do 1/2 inch radius, and you can float on the line as long as your center point is the line. And then you can actually come up here and click that just like that. And you can simply too, on AutoCAD of course, just do an offset and grab this line and pull that line on down. Okay, so that's how you would do an offset manually, is by using your radiuses. And see where that hits those 2 points? That is your center point for your 1/2 inch radius. See how it falls right in there? So that's one of the little tricks. And now just clean it up. It's a bit easier to clean it up in AutoCAD, isn't it, as opposed to on the board. There you go. The next one that we're going to do is draw the same thing but do an acute angle, which is anything that's going to be similar to this. Okay? And it works the same way. You just offset exactly the same amount from both sides, and I'm just doing it really quick and easy there. If we do a 1/2 inch, you just saw how I done that, and then just trim out what you need. Don't need. I'll just leave that there so you can see that, and then we can clean all that up. That's how you do that manually. Okay, so you got that pretty little tangent arc in there. The next one is to do an obtuse angle. We'll use that 1/2 inch. Actually, we might do something a little bit larger than that. Let's do a 1 inch so that you can see this a little better where it's on the outside. And all you have to do here, again, is offset these lines. And remember how to offset if you're doing it manually. Just anywhere on that line, do 1 inch. Come over here, we'll do 1 inch on the end point. We'll do a line from there to there. And again, offset 1 inch. And you could do this one the same way. I'm just trying to speed the process up. And I'll grab this one and I'll pull it straight on over. So now I'll delete those out. Get that point, 1 inch. It should become tangent right in there, no problem. I want to clean that mess up and then clean this up. That's how you do it. I just left this so that you could see how we did that. The next one that we're going to do, we got 3 more. Draw an arc tangent to 2 lines through an arc and a straight line. Draw an arc tangent to two lines through an arc and a straight line. I think I've messed up on writing that down. That doesn't seem right. I tell you what, for this next box down here, let's just draw this. I think this is going to be very important. Offset this line. Offset this line 1 inch. That's all I want you to do using your conventional methods, and that would be just be right in the center of that. Do your 2 points, and then come down here, and this is your quadrant, and boom, right there is what I want. How'd you do that? Well, it's pretty simple. I think that's a really important thing to have on there, and just clean that up to fit in that box. Okay? That's what I want you to do on that one. Alright? We got 2 more, so we passed that number 7 up, because something wasn't right about that one. Draw an arc tangent to 2 arcs externally. Okay, and then draw an arc tangent to 2 arcs with 1 internal, 1 external. I'll show you what that's talking about here. When we come in here, let's say for instance we got 2 arcs. This one's 1 inch, and we come over here, and this one is 1/2 of an inch. Okay, and let's say I want to hit right through here on the bottom. I want to put 1 down here like that. I want it to arc in, and I want this radius to be like a 2 inch radius. So I'll put that there, a double click, and a 2 inch radius. And to do this, to get the center point, to I'll be able to put that arc perfect in there and touch that, I just come up here to center radius. Now this was a 1 inch radius, and you might have to check yourself on these, but I'll click on that and come up there, and yeah, it's 1/2 inch it's 1/2 inch radius, so it's 1 inch. So what you do is, if you want this on the bottom of this, from the center, you got to add. That gets the center point further away. If I were to come in here and type in 2 inch radius, and then come over here, this one was a and I'll do a 2 inch radius right here off this one. What happens is, when I come back in here to put my 2 inch radius, it goes right to the center points. Do y'all see that? My arc does. It doesn't come down here and hit the bottom. So what we have to do is add the radiuses in, because it puts our center point further away, if that makes sense. So let's do that real quick. So take 2 inches plus 1 would be 3. That'd be 3. 2 inches plus 1/2 of an inch is 2.5. Find your center point, and then come in here and type in 2, and you all see how now it perfectly hits that. And we're on the bottom side. If you want the top side, you'll notice too, you've got another up here that come together and hit 2. See how those are perfectly hitting that? I'm just going to delete this one, just because I'm going to try to keep everything clean. That way you keep everything in its respective boxes. But I might have to keep this down here, just because that way you'll know what's going on. Okay? And y'all see how that's hitting that perfectly out there on those tangents. Now, if you want to do this, let's do this next one. Let's say, for instance, I want to put this one on here. We'll kind of do the same scenario. We'll do 1 inch radius, and we'll come over here somewhere and do a 0.5. Now I want to put see how we're on the inside? Now I want to put the arc on the outside. See how it's cutting in concavely? I want to put a convex type on here. So what I do is come up here, and again, if I put this exactly, I want to do a 2-inch radius as well. If I want to do another 2-inch radius, if I punch in 2-inch radius from the center and 2-inch radius from the center, the arc will go coming right through the center. The 2-inch radius will come right through the center. However, I want it to be on top with a convex look. Okay, so what you do on this one, to be on the top of it, you got to subtract. So 2 inches minus 1 would be, I want a 2-inch radius, and this is 1, so this will be a 1-inch radius that I need here. Well, I need bigger radius than 2. 2's not going to be big enough. That's the reason that it's not turned out right. We'll do 4. So again, this is 1-inch radius, so 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. Now over here, 4 minus half is 3.5. It's 3.5, and you'll notice when I put my point in here, let's do this one. I put a point here, and I type in 4. See how it's coming across the top and touching those points? And up here would be the point to do the bottom side of this. Okay? But we're going to trim it all out so to keep everything really nice and neat. You need to keep all this stuff down here so it's kind of easy. And I'll clean it up where it's touching this other side so it doesn't look so gaumy. Yeah, I messed that up. That's okay. Okay. That'd be okay. And I'll clean some of this stuff up here too. Trying to keep everything in its boxes. It's not always easy to do. Okay. So that's how those go about getting that. So I want to show you one more thing off to the side, and this is not one of the drawings, but this is something you're going to do a little later. Let's say we had a 2-inch radius. We have a 1-inch radius over here. You want to put, like, let's say a 6-inch radius, and I'll grab that one and copy. And you want to do a 6-inch radius. You want to have one coming from the top and one hitting the bottom, like one coming over and coming back into this. This is how you do it. Now you're on the top and you're wanting to go to the bottom. So this is 2-inch radius and you want a 6-inch. So you want to be on top. To be on top of this thing, you would have to do like we did here and subtract. So 6 minus 2 is 4. Over here is a 1-inch radius. 6 minus 1 is 5. And now come back in. Right here, it just depends on where you want to be. Let's put it here and do 6. Well, I goofed it up because we've done the same thing over here. Instead of, and I'll show you what I've done wrong. Instead of, because I wanted to be on the bottom of this one, so you got it. Instead of subtracting, I needed to add that 1, which make that 7. Now, when I come back in here and put my 6 in, do you see how this one's hitting the top and this one's coming down here and hitting the bottom? Okay? And if you want to be on this side coming down, it would be like that. So those are a few little things of geometric constructions that will help. Now this is in your book on that chapter over geometric constructions. So if you have any questions about this, please contact me. I've got my office hours on there for you. Just send me a, if we're not in class, you can always just send me an email and I will contact you and we'll try to get it resolved. Thank you.